So hi everyone, we are outside London Marylebone station, the terminus of Chiltern Railways, and in this video I'll be walking you through the station, showing a few facts and trains, as well as exploring the London Underground station. Let's go! We're now going to walk towards the station, and I'll just carefully meander through the street. Be careful with this bus. That was close. And then the street here, which is right next to the station, or really opposite the station, is known as Great Central Street. A nod to the railway company who opened the station. And in the middle of in the front of the station, I mean, is the taxi rank, which is here, and also the station's bus stop, which is right there. And that's an alighting stand only, but I think there is a pickup stand somewhere. I'm not sure where it is though. But anyway, we'll head into the station, and this is the main entrance. Here's the frontage of Marylebone station entrance, and you can even see in between the light bulb and the station label, you can see what looks like chevrons of the original Network Southeast brand, but that's obviously in the same color as the letters of the station. But it is very nice, and there's even a sign pointing towards Baker Street station, so in case of Marylebone tube station is close, you can just walk from Baker Street to here. It's only 5 minutes down Malcolm Street, which is this road here. Okay, here's the pickup stand. So bus route 2 calls here, which is like for West Norwood and Marble Arch, I think. But anyway, we're gonna go inside the station. And you've got these nice ornate gates here to give the station a nice look. Here we are inside the station. And got on the left are the ticket machines and the destination indicators, so dot matrix. And you've got trains for Oxford, Aylesbury, Birmingham, etc., etc. And there's the tube station entrance, and that's the gate line to the main platforms of Marylebone. Right next to the tube station entrance, you also got the ticket office, which is good, and opposite that, you got this nice Bicester village, which is lovely, very pretty as well. And right above the tube station, you also got the more Network Southeast chevrons. There used to be old ticket machines here, but they've now been plated over. You can't use them anymore. And this is where you can find like shops and food chains, like this Burger King here, and also Pret, which is nice. We've also got the toilets here, as well as this entrance, where you can find these nice posters underneath these fluorescent lights. It shows the history of the station. So you've got things like construction and foundations. So, and here were the original steam engines that were made to construct the line. And here's the architecture. A modest design, And the station first opened in 1899 and was progressively expanded until 2006. It took a very long time to make the station to what we know as today. And here is another side entrance into the station, and it's underneath these fluorescent lights. And you got a map showing the Chiltern main line all the way up to Birmingham. This is amazing. It even includes Aylesbury and Oxford on the Met. Yeah, if you're at one of these posters, read this particular one, known as Jeopardy. So, you got this newspaper article of the Beeching Axe falls on the Great Central Railway, the threats for a V1 bomb killed 2 railway workers and damaged the line, and also this racism speech here, which you can have a pause and read. And this god here is known as Asquith Xavier, and he was rejected just for, like, seemingly no reason, but it was when the long distance train services from Marylebone were cut and his job was made redundant. But he applied for an application at Euston nearby, where guards were had more pay, but the application was refused because of more racism. And you got this another Fight to Survive article here. You can pause and read it. And you got this nice poster. And you got much, much more. All in this forecourt area here. Here's the side entrance into Marylebone Station. We just went past the gate line with our Oyster cards, and now we're on the platform. So you got a Class 168 Turbostar, an 82 cab car with a Class 68 leading, and you also got these Turbostars, which, in my opinion, not very good. And I'll head over to the front of the station to get a nice view. Oxford service. Oh dear, Jesus Christ. Apologies for that, I'm just scared of birds. And this train here will form an Oxford service. Diesel fumes. And after Marylebone, the trains will immediately dive into a series of cut and cover tunnels before merging alongside the Metropolitan line. And the Chilterns actually have a service which runs from here all the way up to Aylesbury via Amersham. But the Metropolitan used to go all the way to Amersham, but all the way to Aylesbury, sorry, but and even beyond, but the service beyond Aylesbury was cut in 1936, before World War II, and the service to Aylesbury was cut in 1961 when the Metropolitan only electrified their line as far as Amersham. And a few facts on Marylebone. This station is actually one of a few stations around London terminus category to not be managed by Network Rail, and 2, this is actually the only London terminus to not have electric trains serving it. There's only diesel powered, and when the trains depart you can smell like diesel fumes, which is, of course, is a source of climate change, which I get scared of. But anyway, here's a siding here, or shunting road, and on platform 2 is a Class 68 with like Mark 3 coaches, I think, and also a Class, I'm not sure, I don't remember what it was, but there is a cab car trailing at the back, and this train is a push-pull configuration similar to the Intercity 225s on the East Coast Main Line. So, as you know that there are 14 rail terminals, and this is the second one in the series. I already did Paddington, so now it's time to cover this one. And what you can see in front are a few of this road, and there are these emergency stairs that connect up towards it. And this could be actually quite useful because there is actually only one entrance at the front. This could be useful as a back entrance into the station. I would like to see that happen. Chiltern, please consider these emergency stairs as a new entrance into Marylebone Station. Thanks. Love, Max London Productions. And we have another Class 165 Turbo Star pulling in. Behind that train that left, you got a 168 Turbo Star. And the station, I believe, has like 7 platforms. Well, average, but it's fine. Here's a Class 68, the long distance train. And I believe this one's all the way up to Birmingham. The Class 68 has its headlights turned on. And this train will depart at 12:02 and will be the service for Birmingham Moor Street. And I quite like how there's like 2 national rail routes from London to Birmingham, so in case if there's an issue with this one, you can always go to Euston, which is nearby, and take an Avanti service over to Birmingham. And this train has its fuel turned on, so it'll form a service in 4 minutes over to Aylesbury, and it'll run alongside the Metropolitan Line for much of its length. And we got a 170 coming in. Oh no, it's a 168, not a 170. It's quite similar though. this train is now leaving for Aylesbury. Right, this train here is a Class 68 and will form the 1202 service to Birmingham Moor Street. Right, so we're nearing the time of the Class 68's departure, which is at 1202. So we'll quickly film this train arrive. It's a casual 165 rail car, or turbo star for that matter. The station master is shining his torch, or his signal, meaning the driver and guard are now ready to leave. To cab car trailing. So that's bound for Birmingham Moor Street. Right, that Class 68 departing was awesome. But anyway, we're now going to head over to the tube station of Marylebone. And there's only one line which serves it, and that's the Bakerloo Line. And there are these banners here which pertain to the Chiltern Main Line celebrating its 125th anniversary. Marylebone Station, I think. celebrating its 125th birthday, so I think I came at the perfect time to visit it. Yeah, and on the other platforms there's a massive bike park. This 125 years Marylebone Station. Love it. Came at the perfect time to visit the station. Next to platform 1, there is this statue here, which is Adrian Shooter CBE. He was the founder of Chiltern Railways, an engineer, a railwayman, and inspirational leader. This guy. Also a nice flower garden. And more staff information. And that way is towards the other platforms. Now we'll exit the gate line, and we'll head into the tube gate line. So here is Marylebone Station's tube entrance, and we're going to head inside. Let's go. The Bakerloo Line is the only line to serve the station. And I think this is one of the longest escalators on the tube network, taking like 1 minute and 3 seconds to traverse these. And I wish there would be a second tube line to serve it, and that would be an extension of the Edgware Road branch of the District Line or the Kensington Line up towards the London Zoo via Marylebone or Baker Street, depending which one is better. My preferred one is Marylebone for my proposal. Here's the passageway which heads down to the platform level. Here is where the passageway splits into two, and in the middle of it is the labyrinth, number 570270. There is where passengers come from, as highlighted by the no entry sign, and this way is where the passengers head towards. First of all, to the northbound platform, which is platform 1. Those stairs are to the southbound, this way is the northbound. And first we'll look at these maps. So, we've got Marylebone, Edgware, Paddington, and all the way up to Harrow and Wealdstone. We'll head there now. These stairs here head down to the northbound platform. many London Rail terminus, most tube station entrances have the tube entrance either like inside the rail terminal building or outside of it as their own standalone entrance. But it's not the case here. There's only one tube station entrance in here. I wish there could be a second one out on the street. But I would love to see that happen. Don't you? So this is what Marylebone was originally going to be called when it first opened in 1899. Great Central, in honor of the railway company. Here are the usual roundels, and the tiles are easily UERL brands, and it was set up by Charles Yerkes, who passed in 1905. Nice but quiet station. We have a Stonebridge Park service coming in. Its next stop will be Edgware Road. Right. The next train is in 2 minutes, but I just want to go to the southbound platform, and that way I can get my train home. But there's a poster here for Our Heritage trains, and actually most of the benches, like behind them, they can easily be placeable for advertisements. Like one of them I went past and there is no advertisement. Rude, I guess, but anyways. But we'll just head up the stairs here. We need to go around this wall. That way is to the National Rail Station. And this way, okay, we're past the labyrinth again. And down those stairs is the southbound platform. And this walkway, which I went past earlier, is the bridge which crosses above the platforms. And so the southbound platform 2 is for trains into Zone 1, Central London, via Baker Street, Oxford Circus and Waterloo, before terminating Elephant and Castle. And I made a video on the Bakerloo Line extension all the way to Lewisham, so make sure you go watch that.
Yeah, that's actually really cool.
Down these stairs. And just so you know it, a train is coming. Now let's talk about the Train Sim World rendition of the Bakerloo Line first, because Marylebone is one of the contenders of why Dovetail, the owners of Train Sim World, have the platforms incorrect here, because the curve which they modeled is shown at the middle of the platform, which is incorrect. The actual curve is at the end of the platforms, the westbound direction. And that really needs to be fixed by Dovetail. Dovetail, please overhaul the Bakerloo Line. I'm begging. Got another train for Elephant and Castle. And that ambience noise is behind this wall, and behind this wall is the other platform. It's in a side platform arrangement, not an island. Alright, so this is my train I will board, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video of my rail terminal series. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.